You already know what it is. You already know what the fuck it do. It's the Floor 26 podcast, back for episode 40. My name is Adam Duffy, and today I am joined by my illustrious co-host, Jack Casey.
What's up, Adam? 40?
40.
Oh my God!
Right? And we are a month away from a year.
Right, because what's the year? July 25th was the first episode?
August 25th.
August 25th, right.
So about a month and a half.
Wow.
Crazy. And this also marks something important, as in this is the last episode. This is the third and final one-on-one episode I've had, because I had a one-on-one.
Oh yeah,
one-on-one
nice.
And now it's just me and Jack here, and that's because
we can finally have an intellectual conversation without two idiots not knowing dick. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, each one brings a unique sense to the table. But TJ is out of commission, back at home in Detroit, and Parsa on Monday got his wisdom teeth taken out. And he already has a fat face, but right now he has he's punched out, man, and he's on on a lot of medication, which isn't atypical.
It's not unusual,
but
at least it's prescribed.
So Jack, you were telling me about your day, how you're moving furniture all day. How you feeling? Are you exhausted?
I mean, nah, I'm chilling. I'm just it took forever. Like, doing it isn't the hard part. It's getting it there, making sure it doesn't fall out of your freaking car, and having to talk to the people and just signing the stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God, can we go? Just drop it off and leave.
Yeah, I can't imagine moving couches for upholstery.
It was a couch that because couches aren't typically super heavy if you got two people or whatever. But this one has one of those pull out beds in it. So it was like a metal frame for a bed. And I was like, oh.
And non-IKEA couches. Well, non-IKEA furniture is just like furniture made in America. Although, love American manufacturing, they make heavy shit,
It's true.
Like
bulky.
Yeah, like
diesel.
I was helping a family friend move out. They're moving to Arkansas or something. And they had this, I forget what it was called. I think it was called a hatch. Not a hatch. It's a thing you put in your dining room that carries all your china and your expensive plates. Your hatch, I think it's called. And it was made in the 70s, it probably in some factory that is no longer in business. And it weighed 600 pounds. It was terrible. It was just me and my stepdad trying to carry this huge thing out of their dining room all the way outside into their garage. It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know how when I have to move houses, I don't know how delicate stuff is gonna work. Because we don't have a ton of delicate stuff, but we got this one cabinet of dishes or whatever, every whatever. For sure. I'm like, and the cabinet weighs 1,000,000 pounds. I'm like,
it's never moving. What's
gonna happen in 20 years when that has to leave? What are we doing here?
That'll stay, and the rest of the house.
Yeah. It was the house was probably built around it.
Well, the cool thing is about my family is that since we've never stayed in one place longer than 3 or 4 years, we don't have any heavy furniture. There's very few things that ever come with us, especially when we moved from Montana to here. We didn't take a lot of furniture with us because it was just unnecessary to take furniture across the country like that.
Well, this location is the record for you, right?
Yes, this is the longest we've stayed in any one. Actually, it's hard to say because the road map's a little confusing, but this is the longest we've ever stayed in a state before. Well, actually, Utah technically split into two different sections. We've stayed in Utah more, but this is
that's a different then, because you stayed in the same city, even same county, same zip code here.
Yes.
So you just moved houses a few years ago.
Yeah, we did move house. So yeah, I would say that this is definitely home base right now. But it's weird because I've still spent over half my life in Utah, but I'm slowly gaining on that.
Right.
And it's
every day that balances out.
I think I'm almost even, dead even, which feels weird because I feel like I've grown up a lot more here, which obviously makes sense because I went through high school here.
Right.
Before you got here, I was listening to music over the Roadcaster, which is great. I love that you can sync Bluetooth to it. It's really, and with these headphones, it's nice quality. It's good relaxation, and it's crazy. I was listening to Coco Cabana.
Nice.
I have this playlist of just classic songs, and it made me think about how on Spotify, since their whole thing where artists will Spotify technically has the copyrights to people's music that they upload there, so you can put whatever music you want on your podcast if you'd like on the audio platform of Spotify. So I'll listen to other podcasts on Spotify, and someone will just put a Pop Smoke song at the beginning of their podcast, and it'll just a section of it, and because I even see it in the editor when I'm uploading these episodes. You can add a song from Spotify, you could clip it if you want to, and throw it anywhere on your thing, and I'm just that's cool.
Well, that's also in part because Spotify owns Anchor.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's their personal service. But And it's just such a fun, it's a funny dichotomy between that you can do whatever you want with Spotify songs
and YouTube. Which
if a lick of that song was on YouTube,
3 seconds, like you hear Pop Scope go woo, you're like done.
Yes, exactly. A single woo and you're done.
Yeah,
you're dead.
Deal. Oh, you're screwed. Like
your channel destroyed.
Yeah,
your reputation destroyed.
Yeah, YouTube is weird, man. They've always because like their policy is never constant.
Right? It's
Ever.
always very
It
flippant.
changes like every 2 years. Oh, and not even just a little bit, like complete 180.
Uh-huh.
Like, do you remember that whole kids thing?
Yeah.
A year or two ago?
Yeah.
How you have to put, like, because there was some, I don't know what the law was, but it was like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
YouTube got like heavy, like super legislative lawsuit action with, I don't even know who, I guess the U.S. government?
Yeah, it was. They were brought before like the Senate, I think, like in a judicial hearing. I think it was just like kids YouTube was really popping off at that point, and like since it was like unregulated, where there wasn't their own, there wasn't their own app, there wasn't like a separation, like you ran into problems like that, and so they definitely had to do that. But and then with copywriting, isn't a big thing where all these independent places like music corporations and people that own these trademarks, they like go straight to your videos like through YouTube, right? Like
like
it's like
big
MGM will
MGM and UMG and all the big labels and label groups, they have algorithms built in, like partnered with YouTube. Get you.
And then they just take your money from it, which is it's this weird thing where it's kind of it's a similar relationship to like the broader country as a whole, where like the people at the very top take the money from the people at the bottom. In this case, like record labels are copywriting people's
like they need the
like
30
they're taking the pennies from like YouTube creators, and like you're stretching that margin between like the people at the top are getting richer and YouTube creators, in this case the poor, are getting are struggling because their content's getting copyrighted left and right. And then there's that strain where yes, like somebody's getting like profiting off of this, but then like that band is still like those two things still need to be connected to each other. So like if if you stretch that too far and it snaps, then like the people you're stealing money from aren't going to have any money, and then you're going to lose all your money.
Right.
So it's this weird relationship where if you are going to be like an oligarchical like tyrant, you kind of have to be smart about it. You can't strain your people or your
can't push your luck of just doing whatever.
Yeah, you can take money from your citizens, but you can't like push it too far, or else you're gonna lose your own income source too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like every conversation I have with you can relate it back to a Nakey Jakey video. And did you see the Napster video?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was great.
It was weird because I mean, like when we were during that age, we were like babies, and so like,
oh yeah, dude, it's a weird thing for people our age to look at that, because we were alive. But, you know, our parents were doing that. They were in their, you know, late 20s, early 30s. And we were toddlers, younger even. And just like, it's just weird.
But I'm sure they were like in our houses as a kids, they were playing songs they had downloaded.
Oh, 100%.
And stuff like that.
The entire planet used Napster for it was a short period of time, but a good period of time.
I thought it was funny that I think it was MGM who like sued Napster for like $500 trillion.
Yeah, which was more money on the earth at the time. Like,
that's really hilarious. But I mean, and in that video, he does say that it's good. Like the system we have now, streaming platforms, is pretty cool. Like in terms
it evolved into like Apple Music and Spotify are great platforms. They're great. They're you know, YouTube has its issues, and I feel like it always will. But so far, Spotify. Well, I take that back. For Spotify, at least, Apple Music is Apple, so it's its own thing. But parts of Spotify are owned by record companies, which I just found out. I didn't know that.
Interesting.
So like they have partial influence on stuff like that. Like, you know, like Columbia Records, which is technically Sony, I think has a portion of Spotify. So like, you know, people under Sony Music are going to be promoted more on Spotify.
For sure. Yeah.
So it's all
that corporate meddling and stuff like that.
It's also funny how like the biggest types of media sticklers, like of all the industries, the biggest ones are music, which is something you can't even see music, you know, like, okay, there's music videos that you can get into a whole debate with what I just said, but just like music, which is just like a super tiny file on your phone, is the biggest like 3 seconds, like you were saying, 3 seconds on YouTube.
And in the sense that like in the sense of like intellectual properties, like songs compared to everything else, like songs are the like. Obviously, music's great and all that, but most songs, especially the ones that are getting copyrighted the most, the really popular songs or the classics, those are not like unique intellectual properties. They're like the music in general is created from other music, and it's very. So I guess you get into the debate of like someone's like movie or story, that's like something that was created and is like in depth and stuff like that. But songs, even though they're popular and everyone listens to them are very similar to each other, or at least are easier.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Like their samples.
Like two pop songs are very more similar to each other than two other people's like
right.
Videos in general, like stuff like that. But
yeah. And it's funny too because like I don't know. It's not only people getting affected by music industries, it's the artists too. Because like every artist on the planet has complained about their label that they're with.
It's interesting
because they take all their money and like artists. The majority of like, musical artists, the majority of the money they make is from shows, concerts.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they get every penny of that.
Yeah, like
they don't have to split it with anyone.
The live gates are crazy for artists.
They hire people to schedule it and plan the event, but besides that, it is all them for performing.
That's why there was a lot of bitching and moaning over the pandemic by a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And it's this interesting balance story where it's like, you know, it sucks that your label's taking a lot of your money and it sucks that you don't have live shows, but like at the same time, like I'll trade places with you. Like I'll be worth $60 million and everyone adores me. So and that's the thing with every celebrity that complains. It's like
there's always the next step.
Celebrities trying to be relatable to normal people. It's like you can complain about your life issues, but like there's people that would rather have your issues, you know? Like Chrissy Teigen likes to complain a lot on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, she's like known for having the most unrelatable tweets of like just complaining about shit that is just so like beyond.
I thought she was known for like being funny. I thought like her Twitter was like hilarious.
People make fun of her for like the shit she says, but like there's a large portion of people who just like.
I mean, I don't follow her on Twitter.
She just says like unrelatable. I just see memes about it because she says like unrelatable shit that like nobody.
The butler only bought 4 of my bags, not 5 of them, and now I have to go downstairs and go get it myself. Like, okay, bitch, that's crazy. And
so it's this weird thing where, but then again, like people are like kind of unfair. Where like she says like one of my biggest struggles is like something super mundane, and someone would be like, my biggest struggle is that I can't feed myself every day, and it's like, okay, well, like,
yeah,
we have 2 different spheres here. Like it's
shit like that.
You shouldn't compare each other.
Like shit like that. That'll happen in like not even like celebrity tweets, but like everyday conversation. You'll be talking about like, oh man, I gotta be on this test. Well, I got an F. Like, all right, bro, like chill out. Like those are so uncomparable and just like dragging the conversation straight to the bottom. Just like what's the
racing
point?
To the bottom.
Yeah. People are just so pessimistic. I don't understand because I consider myself a very optimistic person. In any kind of scenario whatsoever, I'm like, oh, you know, we'll be fine. It's like, oh, at least we got this. I'm very half full.
Yes,
right.
Yes, for sure.
But there are so many pessimistic people. Like, and I don't know how, because it has to be taxing on your body,
right?
Like being that negative with almost everything in your day. How are you not like crippling and dying right now?
Yeah, like I feel like the emotions we present are very limited. And it's like seeing how much like pessimism and like anger people project towards certain things. It sounds like draining.
Right.
Like this is sort of a weird relation, but have you watched a death battle before? Like the online things. I was watching this one. It was like the Hulk versus Doomsday, and they made this really good point when Doomsday beat the Hulk that like the Hulk gets stronger the more angry he gets, but as human beings we have a physical limit to how angry we can get. Like the amygdala in our brain cannot only can produce a certain amount of the hormone that makes us angry. Like we have a limit to it. And I always think of that because I'm like, I look at people and I'm like, how, like I cannot physically hold that much like anger or just like pessimism or like that outlook on the world. I can't hold that for that long.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Death Battle, man. I forgot about Death Battle. Screw Attack.
Oh man, that was my childhood. Well, not
really?
That was like my 13, 14. Like those like.
I never got into Screw Attack. I watched Screw Attack when they joined Rooster Teeth, but that was when I was that was when I started falling off Rooster Teeth because they got so bad so fast.
Yeah, I stopped watching them once they melded with Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, I feel like everyone did because Rooster Teeth was they were sold to Full Screen. Have you ever heard of Full Screen?
I think so. Yeah.
They're basically like a YouTube network, kind of. Long story short, and they're owned by AT&T, which is owned by Warner Brothers. So technically, Warner Brothers owns Rooster Teeth, and it's like, I don't know. They just got super corporate, and they started getting all these other people to come with them, and it just got too much content that wasn't the same as what it used to be.
Didn't feel like original.
Yeah, shit just got lame and too big, and like I don't know. It was gross.
I completely understand. YouTube like networks like that are strange. Like, because I think they're one a relic a little bit. Like they were formed in the 2010s, like Rooster Teeth.
2010s exactly.
Or like Screw Attack, or like the ones that are like trying to be actual businesses on YouTube. And I think that ties in with like the whole YouTube ad copyright situation where like that is an unsustainable business to
Yeah.
just make videos and try to produce a company out of that. But then you have stuff like offline TV now with like Pokimane and all those other Asian streamers, which I actually I went on this earlier in the week. I had
Is that
this,
what that is? I've heard the name Offline TV before. I didn't know it's what. I didn't know it was like a network.
Well, it's like it's just like a conglomerate.
Is it all those Among Us streamers that
yes,
did? Yeah,
exactly.
okay.
Disguised Toast, Scara,
yeah, okay.
which is Disguised Toast is weird because he used to be the biggest Hearthstone streamer in the world.
Really?
And then he completely quit the game because like he had this really bad relationship with the company, and now like now he's more popular than he was.
Wow.
And so like my brother knows Disguised Toast because he watches Among Us streams, which it's funny. But I'm like that. I used to watch that guy play Hearthstone. But I was just thinking that like I hate streamer culture.
Me too.
Like just
I've
like
never liked it.
like when I'm on Snapchat and I see the I don't know if it's IGN, but there's another gaming like newspaper.
The Hub.
thingy
Isn't it the
that
Hub?
just talks about like streamer stuff. It's always the stupidest shit.
Dude, it's the dumbest shit.
It's the dumbest
ever.
shit. It's the dumbest shit. And like
It's just so like gross.
yeah, it's seedy.
It just
and
makes me feel like this is real. Like
right.
this exists.
Yeah, and just the idea that like these top streamers like Pokimane and Disguised Toast are just have tens of thousands of people watching them constantly. It's like it's this weird cultural thing, man.
Yeah.
It irks me the wrong way.
Me too. Like I'll be on, like I'll be like scrolling through reels on Instagram or like stuff will come up my YouTube recommended, and I'm like, and it's like sometimes it's legitimate. Like you can tell the actual person in the video posted it, and you're like, oh my god, that's real. But then it'll come up with like cringe account, and it'll post the same kind of videos, and it's like, what is going on?
I forgot. And then like with how that, since it's so popular and it's like so successful, how that's bleeding into like mainstream stuff is like crazy,
dude.
Like AOC playing Among Us during voting is crazy. Machine Gun Kelly in one of his recent videos.
Yeah, I saw
put
that.
Valkyrie in it. And
it was Toast rapping, but Valkyrie was being, because he doesn't show his face.
It wasn't Toast. It was
oh no Corpse.
Yeah, it was Corpse like voiceover with Valkyrie, and it was just like
she had that red eye shit going on.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
I mean like,
oh my god. I was like, what is going on?
It's crazy, man. Just these. It's a weird cultural fixation that's come up recently. Just this focus on these predominantly attractive female streamers that just
the hot tub meta. Hear about the hot tub meta?
Yeah, I've heard of that, and it doesn't sound appealing to me at all.
Me either. Like at all. I mean, dude, Twitch is so seedy and gross.
Yeah,
they've always had the reputation of like, because like how people get accused, like they'll say, oh, people at Twitch were like, sexually involved with that girl, that's why she was so popular and wasn't taken down. Because like in like maybe 2015 2016 there were a lot of those like tank top, have the wheel bend over streams, and like Twitch wasn't doing shit about them, and everyone was like, what the hell is going on? So then all the allegations came out that like employees at Twitch were like cool with them, they were friends with the girls and shit. And like if that happened once, I'd be like, okay, fake rumor to like fuck with people. But it kept coming up year after year after year. I'm like, okay, something has to be real. And then someone was interviewing like some executive at Twitch. Maybe it was like an article interview. I don't know. But the dude, some of the biggest people at Twitch were like, the hot tub stream doesn't affect our terms of service. It's fine. And I'm like,
wow, really?
What?
That is some heavy.
Because they were like, it's like they were like, it's an IRL stream in a pool. I'm like, kinda not. It's kind of like low key softcore porn.
Right. It's so seedy, and the culture of viewers, like just like that whole like the terms that they come up with, and like it's like we talk a lot about how like afraid we are of like mob mentality, how it's not good to have a bunch of people in the same group that have like this mentality because it can amplify. But Twitch streams are just like internet mob mentality driven.
Yes.
Like when you have 40,000 people who can like all in conjunction,
they can control the world because every one of those 40,000 people will do whatever that person streaming is saying.
Yeah. Or
like,
if someone in the chat starts something, they can like spread.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was about to say, there's 40,000 streamer, like you were saying. If they said, all right, chat, give me this emote, hype us up. Every person in that chat, 40,000 people type the exact same emote. And like, I know that's such a small thing, but when you think about that, how that could be projected on a bigger scale.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like, it's like,
all right, 4,000 people, come here and do
Right?
whatever I say.
yeah, like they come to this, like come to the Twitch, go to TwitchCon.
Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of fine Twitch communities that are like whatever, I get it, but like mob mentality
At the very top, it's a little dangerous. And like barring some sort of event that kicks that off trajectory, the way it's going now, it's like the high 500,000 viewers, like people are like like we're dividing ourselves between like I'm a Pokemon watcher,
right?
I watch Valkyrie, I watch This Guy's Toast. It's like they become the new gamers of the government, man.
Gamers of the government. Anarchy, dude.
Society is a lie.
But yeah, the reason all this shit is getting so like intervened with other media and like becoming such a big thing is money. It's all it is.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's just one word, is money.
Mm-hmm.
If all these Twitch streamers were super popular and all this stuff, that'd be great, but they weren't making as much money as they are, they wouldn't be as big of a deal to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because the music industry, every other industry, the reason they're on Twitch or whatever is because they're making money.
Yeah, I mean, you plop AOC in front of 50,000 viewers on a stream, and like you like
there's memes made about her. Maybe her Twitch, maybe like
you say like donate to the
right, exactly. Blue. She's promoting her campaign, or donations like and subs on Twitch could go to her campaign as well.
Like $50,000, like that.
And she's getting more of an audience. Memes are being made about her. Like it's advertising and money. She's getting paid to advertise.
And it goes into like the same thing where it's like people are dealing less in like tangibles and more in like the influence they have for people.
Yeah.
Like, in like the information age where like streaming is like the being on a stream is like the new way to really influence people's like actions by how you present yourself. And it's scary.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Parsa about this, but he's not here obviously. But I was gonna ask him how that Lakers in 4, the Hawks in 4 prediction was.
Dude, I don't know why, because you remember on the episode, I was like, I don't know why you said that.
Were they? I don't know if it works the same way, but like betting odds, were they the underdog to win for sure?
Okay. Every series of this playoffs, the Hawks were the underdog.
Okay,
pretty much. Like the Knicks, you can maybe debate it, but they were pretty much underdog.
And they went out in 6, right? It was 4-2.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Almost made it to the wire.
Almost. I had a feeling in the back of my head, like I wanted them to win, but once they got the Bucks, I was like, that's not looking good.
Yeah.
I think I even said on the episode, I was like, I don't know, man, the Bucks are pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird because in the last 2 games of that series, well, okay, let me think. Game 4, they won it. They made it 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
The Hawks did. Game 5, Giannis Antetokounmpo, I don't know how to say his last name, the Greek freak, was out for the Bucks, and Trey was out for Atlanta. Or maybe this was game 4 I'm talking about. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Game 4, Trey is out for us, and Giannis is out for them, and we smacked them. Like, total. We were like, okay, so Giannis is carrying him. If he's not playing, we're great. Then in game 5, or maybe it was game 6. I don't know. I'm confused.
For sure.
But Trey was playing, so we're like, okay, we've got Trey this time, and Giannis' style is going to be great, and we lost it.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's like people, but I'm not worried about it at all because after this kind of performance, and it was weird because their coach that they were under the playoffs with was kind of just a fill-in. And I think it was Nate. I don't know how to say it.
I don't know, but I just remember the name.
I just know Nate is his name. And they just hired him for 4 years because like he was a fill-in for the playoffs, and then they were doing so hot. They just hired him for 4 years, and they're going to keep, I think, majority of the same roster. People keep saying Kawhi Leonard is going to come. I don't know about all that. But I am very optimistic. It is only up from here.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see like ATL do this good.
Yeah,
because how long had it been since we went to the finals?
The Hawks?
Yeah,
they haven't been to the finals. They were in St. Louis, like in the 60s.
Yes,
before the NBA was really organized. Like that's why they're all called basketball clubs, because they kind of were clubs. Like there wasn't an East and a West and all that shit. And that's when they were the St. Louis Hawks. They were in the finals then, but I don't count that shit.
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
So ATL Hawks have never gone to the finals?
No.
That's crazy.
And the Falcons have been to the Super Bowl once and lost it. And the Braves have 3 World Series.
Okay. So we're not great sports teams.
Only one World Series in Atlanta, but the MLB was organized, so those 3 count.
Okay. So we're not the best sports team, but we're decent.
Yeah, and people online were saying the Hawks, like, oh, Atlanta sports were cursed. Losing to the Bucks wasn't really a curse.
I mean, yeah,
it was, like it wasn't. it wasn't the Braves losing 13-1 in their first playoff game 2 years ago. That was a curse. Like in the first inning of that game, they were down like 13-1. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Jesus. And the Falcons, obviously, that's a huge curse. But the Hawks, they played good series and they made it the Bucks, and they did their thing. And I don't know, it's not a curse. I think it's just building. For sure. So
I saw a grown man cry on that Super Bowl night.
You probably saw a lot of grown men cry on that Super Bowl night. That was a stinker. And it's funny because everyone will always talk about it. Not even just Atlanta fans. Like
it's a
all of the NFL fans will be talking about that.
Like if everyone says like, what's the biggest like NFL like upset? Not even upset, but like comeback in like the history of the NFL. Like, oh, that one like Patriots.
Oh, Patriots Falcons, man, they're crazy. It's because like whenever Atlanta, no matter the team, Braves, Hawks, whatever, Falcons, whenever they win a World Series or a Finals or whatever in the future, they're going to show that. Be like, oh, the curse is broken. Remember when they lost to the Patriots in 2016? Oh, yeah. It's going to be like that forever. Oh, remember this? Yes, we do. Like,
I was breaking down with my mom about, like, we talk a lot about Georgia in general, like, the move here and like things that are different from other places we've lived, and we were like telling off like all the good things about the state that we like more than everywhere else. Mainly because we were paying for my next year of college, and we're like, man, this Hope Scholarship stuff is great, dude. Like statewide, like like cut, like it almost feels like a cheat code, man. Like because you look at like almost no other state has a program like that. So like that's pretty cool. And then we're talking about and I just mentioned sports teams, and I was like, you know what, they're all right. But what's interesting is that like I lived in Utah and Montana. Utah has sports teams. Montana really doesn't.
Yeah.
But like the culture around sports teams is a lot different here. Like going to like a United game, going to a Hawks game, going to a Falcons game, it feels a lot more spirited than out west. Like in Utah, the MLS team is Real, and like I've been to a few of those games, and they don't have the same energy as like a United game.
Really?
Yeah, just from like my memory of them. And Jazz, I've been to a few Jazz games, doesn't feel the same as either. Although Rudy Gobert is a really cool player. Yeah, he's got a cool story.
Yeah.
And I love listening to his interviews because he has such a thick accent.
Yeah.
And
yeah, the Jazz are pretty cool.
Yeah. And then, did you know actually growing up until I was about 12 years old, I thought the Lakers were the Utah team.
Utah Lakers.
I mean, it's the Great Salt Lake. I really thought we're the Lakers.
Honestly, it makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Jazz. We're the
Why
whitest.
are they the Lakers?
We're the whitest state in the union.
Because like there are a lot of, especially in basketball, there's a lot of like the teams are named after like where they're supposed to be.
Well,
like
maybe did it ever start anywhere else?
Maybe.
And then got traded.
I thought the Lakers were in LA forever, but I might be so wrong.
Because
like the Thunder, Oklahoma City, they used to be in Seattle, and they rebranded and moved. But when they were in Seattle, they were called the Seattle Supersonics because that's where Boeing is. And Detroit, the Pistons, because of all the car companies there, you know. And I'm trying to think of what else. There's a few more like that. But yeah, I think not Milwaukee. I don't know.
But I feel like Jazz had to have come from somewhere else. Why would we name ourselves Jazz?
Yeah, like I feel like the Utah Jazz used to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, that sounds like the most
like
obvious.
Right. They have to be.
Yeah, I mean, like we're not a culture of jazz.
Right. I wouldn't imagine in Utah you are.
Actually going to Utah later this month.
Really?
Oh yeah. By the way, leaving you guys for 2 weeks.
Nice. Cool.
I neglected to mention that until now, but I'll be excited to go. Actually,
wait, when are you leaving?
The 19th
of July.
Yes.
I won't be here either.
Cool. Where are you going?
Well, I'll be here 3 days after that. I'll be at the beach.
Oh, cool. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Cool.
I wish
leave
I
it up to Parsa and Tej.
That would be so amusing.
That would be great.
To see what's going on.
Parsa could edit it. Well, they both could edit it.
Yes, they're both workhorses, but let's just see how they do.
Yeah,
let's just see. But Utah, it's like I'm excited to go back there to see family and stuff like that. But man, like I'm already bracing myself for everything that comes with Utah, like the weather and the people.
Really?
Yeah, I mean like the dryness that I hate so much, and like the people are.
Yeah, it's like 0% humidity. It's just heat.
Yeah, it just drains your soul out of you. It's crazy. And then we're going to Montana for a few days, which I'm excited about.
Hitting up all the old stops.
Yeah, you know, we're just going through Yellowstone, but
cool.
I'm waiting for the nostalgia to hit me because I've gone through Yellowstone maybe 30 or 40 times.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. Once a month, for like the 2 years I lived in Montana, we would take the drive from Montana down to Utah, like a 6-hour drive, to go see my dad. And we would drive through Yellowstone every time. It's like spend a few hours just going to sites. And I saw Old Faithful geyser go off like 100 times.
Wow.
Just, it's like,
that's cool.
You stop by Old Faithful, you watch, you went up, let's get back in the car. And
nice.
so like I've seen it so many times. And we played chicken with a bison with our van one time. It was crazy. Like we're just on the road going through one of these like scenic routes, and there's like cars like behind us too and in front of us, and like this bison just comes off the hill onto the road, and he just starts slowly walking towards the car, and we're slowly backing up, and the car behind us is slowly backing up. There's like 20 cars.
No sudden movement.
It's just the thing where it's like that bull will fuck up our car.
Yeah.
Like, and fuck us up. Like like a 3,000 pound bull.
Oh my
God. 3,000, but like, yeah. And so
that is some Western shit.
Right. And
oh my God.
Yeah. I have a friend right now who, they're in Yellowstone for the first time right now, and it's weird.
Yeah, I've never been. I mean, I've hit up a lot of the West stuff. Like my family flew to LA and then did like a big circle. So we went to like, I forget what all the states were, but like we hit Nevada and like a few of those fucking national parks.
States? Oh, national
states
parks?
And national parks. Like we hit up
Grand Canyon.
Yes, we did Grand Canyon.
Awesome.
We did I forget what the other ones are called. Why can't I think of what they're called?
I don't know what states, like Arizona.
Yeah, like imagine like Southern California, all like a big circle
like
around
the Southwest.
There. Yeah, Southwest.
For sure,
all the
for
national
sure.
parks right there.
Yeah, I've actually never been that far away, but I've been to Nevada and Arizona before.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never done Yellowstone. Like you say, like first time, like you've done it 100 times.
It is
crazy.
Like there's some mythical shit over there. Like we went there's this one place that we went through one time. It's like a detour off that drive we take. It was like we added like an extra half hour onto it, but it was this place called Beartooth Pass that takes you to like the highest elevation that you can really drive at in the Rocky Mountains, and you're driving through those mountain passes, and there's just ginormous ass mountains all around you.
Wow.
And it is like, and like there's cliffs like up one mountain, a road will just loop it and then go off to like another. It's insane, and like it's like one of the most like fantasy things I've ever seen in my life. Like looking out at like just empty valleys of like rock and trees and stuff like that.
That's kind of nuts.
You'll see some trippy shit.
Yeah, I bet.
And just like obviously like the geysers and stuff like that, crazy stuff. It's a cool place. It's a really cool place, and I'm excited to see it again.
Yeah, my mom's like, we don't really travel out of the country because my parents didn't want to do it when I was super young, because like I wouldn't remember it, you know. So instead, my mom's like dream is to hit all 50 states with all 4 of us.
Oh my God!
And we've done a ton of them.
Yeah, my mom also has a similar goal to that, but she instead specifically she wants to go to the highest point in every state.
Oh, that's cool.
And take pictures over there.
That's awesome.
She's gone to like pretty much everything in the Southeast, like everything around here, like Florida, the Carolinas, Alabama, here obviously.
Yeah.
But then I mean it's cool activity because highest point in the country is in it's either in Washington State or it's in Utah, and it's like a 20-mile hike, you know, big mountain.
Big boy. Yeah.
The tallest point in Utah is called Eagle Mountain, and it's like a huge trek. It's almost like it's like a half marathon up to the top of the slope. Yeah. My stepdad used to just run it.
Wow.
Yeah, my stepdad was a big track guy.
Yeah.
His fastest mile was literally like 15 seconds slower than like the national record.
Damn.
He ran like I think he ran like a 3:49.
Damn.
Right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. He's 40 years old right now, but his resting heart rate's like 40 beats per minute. He's just one of those guys.
That's really cool.
My resting heart rate's 120.
Yeah, that's like
but
I don't even know what mine is.
We can go test it upstairs. He has a bunch of medical gadgets and shit.
I'll tell you right now, guys.
Oh yeah, shit. I forgot you had a
about to whip out the motherfucking
I think I've also been to
65 is what I got right now.
Interesting. Okay. It's very chill.
Yeah.
I've also been to Death Valley before.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Utah,
I mean, obviously that's a big thing.
Utah, the hottest recorded temperature in the world is in Utah. So it's a flex. Yeah, hottest recorded temperature ever in the world is in Death Valley, Utah.
That'll fuck a bitch up.
It was I think it was like 230 or something Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Just like boiling temperature.
Wow.
Yeah, and so we took a little trek through there one time, and I don't remember very well, but I kind of remember it being kind of hot.
A little bit. It was a little toasty.
But you know, it's interesting. I have all these. I went to so many little national parks as a kid, even though, I'm surprised my mom was able to drag 4 kids there by herself. So it's it's kind of crazy. I haven't gone to a national park in years. But when
Right.
I was a kid, it was just like national park to national park.
Bang,
I was
bang,
very
bang.
surprised.
Yeah. Kind of same, honestly.
Mhm.
This, after the beach, I'm like, this weekend, I'm going to the beach for a week. And then from the beach, I'm leaving and going to the Northeast. And me and my mom are hitting all of those states.
Ooh.
Like Vermont, New Hampshire.
New York.
Well, not New York because we've been there already. But like Connecticut and like all that
Interesting.
shit. And like
Yeah.
we're doing all like, and Massachusetts and like all, we're
You
doing
in
all
Maryland?
that.
DC?
I think no, because we've been to DC already.
Mhm,
We've been to
for sure,
Maryland.
for
yeah.
sure.
So we're just hitting like the top
Yeah,
corner.
yeah, that's
I don't know what she's got a whole itinerary because I was supposed to go with like the three of them because like we were supposed to do like all four of us and they went
Yeah.
like a few years ago, but I couldn't go because something. Like we had planned to go and then like a week before I was like, oh, because like something else I'd planned even before that came up and I just forgot about it. It's like, oh, I can't go.
it's a scout camp. That conflicts with a lot of my
It
trips.
does. Scout camp is tough.
Because it's midsummer, like any given 2 week period.
Yeah,
it's like-
exactly.
it's
yeah,
like, it's kinda
I don't think it was that though. It was something else. But yeah, I didn't go. So the three of them have been. But my mom was like, "You have to hit them. We have to check you off." So after
Wow.
the beach, we're just going. We found a cheap flight. We're
That's
doing
tight.
it.
Yeah, that's really tight.
I think we're gonna go and like look at some whales or something. Like,
There's there's stuff to do in the Northeast.
oh yeah, and Boston's Boston. We'll do Boston-y stuff. Check out Paul Revere's trail. We
Yeah.
are doing that. I know for a fact
That's
we're
cool.
doing that.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, just check all the colonial sites. Go through like an orchard or some shit
Yeah.
in Maine. That's what they got, right?
She's really interested. Like her favorite kind of states are like Western cowboy American or like
Interesting.
colonial American. Nothing in the middle. Like because she lives there for one, and two, it's like not as like American-y.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Americans, you've got the West, like cowboy shit,
Uh-huh.
and colonial shit.
I grew up with cowboy shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
and
like-
those are her two favorites.
Like where the transcontinental railroad met from east to west was in Utah.
Right.
They hit it with the golden spike. I was there. I went to that place where they laid the golden spike on it.
Nice.
And like I've been to all that shit. And yeah, there's not much.
Plymouth Rock, that's something else.
Yeah,
Forgot.
yeah. John Tron, he lives in Boston.
Does he?
Yeah, yeah,
That doesn't surprise me. He seems Boston-y.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Didn't he get like totally alligated and just like off the plant? Didn't he have some like weird?
He's still posting videos, but that might have happened a while ago. Like he posted a video like a month ago.
Like I saw something that like he came out with like these super like alt-right stuff and just got completely canceled. Did you not hear about?
I'd never heard of that.
Maybe,
No.
maybe Rawad told me that.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Some of his like older videos are classics though.
Oh
Obviously,
yeah,
like the flex tape.
Flex tape, dude.
That's perfect.
Those were like. I don't even know what those were because they were like scripted and like
Fever dreams, man.
movies, kind of
Fever
like
dreams.
it wasn't just him commentating a video. Well, parts of it were,
Uh-huh.
but other parts were him like he was. I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny.
It was like a movie.
Yeah.
Like he had a set and shit. And I was like, what is going on? Like, and then the flex tape guy came out in the second one and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God.
Phil Swift is a cultural icon.
He kind of is. It's kind of crazy actually.
Uh-huh,
How
uh-huh.
much shit he has.
Because you go into Home Depot and there's literally just Flex products everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Flex glue, Flex tape, anywhere, any aisle.
Yeah.
Like when we were pulling up these walls, like go to the paint section, there's Flex like seal, there's Flex tape, like the spray on shit, and it's like
Like you saw it as like the meme commercial, but then you saw it
Uh-huh.
in your Home Depot.
yeah. And my mom was talking about like strong adhesives for like getting the drywall to stick to the beams. I'm like, Mom, stick with me here. Flex seal.
Flex tape, Flex glue, you name it.
Anything-
We got it. Flex, baby.
It even works underwater.
We sawed this fucking boat in half. Like, oh shit.
It's like if this basement ever floods, man, these walls will stay.
We put a screen door in the bottom of a boat and covered it in Flex spray.
Flex spray, Flex tape, or something like
Yeah.
that. And then when they took it on shark infested water,
I was pushing it.
Yeah.
I was pushing it. I was like, come on, bro. Like, is that necessary?
well, he makes the videos about the best things. Like his videos about Gwyneth Paltrow and her beauty wellness company.
JonTron?
Yeah, JonTron made videos about Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwyneth Paltrow is
Yeah.
Tony Stark's
Pepper
wife,
Potts.
Pepper Potts, and she has this wellness company called Goop, and it's like it's everything you think
yeah.
of. It's everything you think of. Like,
Yeah.
like mists that like expel evil auras and shit like that.
Right.
And yeah, she just like he did 2 videos about them, and it was just the funniest shit ever. And it even plays
Dude,
more into
people-
just how detached like both celebrities and the people that buy shit from them are.
Yeah.
Like LA people, so detached from the rest of the world.
People do not like Gwyneth Paltrow
No, yeah,
at
people don't
all.
like her.
She is not liked.
Uh-huh.
I don't have a super strong opinion on her, but I don't love her. You know, she's not my like. She just seems like just like passive aggressive and just like not pleasant to be around.
Yeah, she seems very like controlly and very like
kind of just
very
like
petty.
Gets pissed off at stuff
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you see that one interview with Jon Favreau and her when she forgot she was in Spider-Man?
I don't.
She didn't know she was in Spider-Man.
Interesting, like Homecoming.
Yeah, like
Maybe she
you
was
know
like
at the
this.
end when like they're about to make him an Avenger, but he's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'll stay the little guy or whatever.
Yeah.
That end scene at Avengers HQ.
Yeah, she forgot she was in it.
She like Jon Favreau was like, oh, you know, when me and Gwyneth were working on the end of Spider-Man or whatever, and she was like, I wasn't in Spider-Man, and he was like, yeah, I remember the scene, you know, and she's like, that didn't happen, and he's like, yeah, you know, this is this, and she was like, that was Spider-Man? I thought that was like an end credit at some other movie, and he was like, no, that was definitely Peter Parker,
You can't say that to
Spider-Man.
Jon Favreau.
I know the
He loves
MCU is
Spider-Man,
his bitch,
and
like,
and Jon Favreau is a sweetheart.
oh my god,
He's the greatest.
I love him.
He's just like
because he's so talented and
Uh-huh.
so nice. He's just like, have you
Yeah.
ever seen Chef?
yes.
God, that movie's so good.
And like I watch a lot of Binging with Babish, which is like the big cooking YouTuber, and like they're friends with each other, and it's
Right.
just like, you know, Marvel. We talk a lot about how corporate and how the quality of their stuff is very flat and stuff like that. But like in Disney in general, but Jon Favreau and like Dave Filoni like,
Yep.
are two gems
Yep.
of that like business.
Yep.
Like I can't think of any other. Maybe Feige, Matt Feige,
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Like, those three are like the bastions of like good
Yeah.
superhero and Star Wars content.
Yeah, those three are leading the way. Kathleen Kennedy needs to shut the fuck up. Oh my god, I do not enjoy her.
Nobody does. So I guess this is another thing. So Black Widow comes out tomorrow, I think, and or
What's today?
maybe it was today.
I think it's today.
Yeah, because
Today's Thursday, right?
Yeah.
I think it came out today.
That's crazy. And like I haven't watched it yet, and I have low expectations. I don't
Me
think it's gonna
too.
be that good.
It doesn't look good to me.
It
I'm
just looks
okay.
like
I'm just not excited for it.
it just looks like another Marvel movie, and it's something that I noticed when I was watching Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's just like Marvel action is very bad.
Yeah.
Like actual action is just not engaging. It's very flat, and so, but then there's this. But then people have kind of already like set themselves up for failure by saying like this is the first Marvel movie with a female lead and a female director, and it's going to be the greatest movie of the summer. And I'm like, oh boy, we said that about Black Panther. Like we said, Black Panther like mostly black cast, black director, and it's like that's going to be the biggest movie of the summer. And then it was a bad movie. Was a fairly bad movie.
People
had a lot of
praised it, but it wasn't great.
And so it's this thing
Like
where
it was like the whole Wakanda thing, all these black, great, that's awesome, but like it wasn't it didn't stand out.
like Black Panther wasn't a good protagonist in that movie. He was better in Civil War than he was in his own
100%.
movie.
100%.
And so it's these things where like don't put your eggs in the basket before it gets shown into a million audience, like a million people.
You can definitely market and hype up your movie, but don't make it end all be all.
Yeah,
because
like-
then when it ends, it will be the end.
yeah, and then it's just, you're gonna be worse than the position you started in. They're like, oh, it was a female lead, like.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
they're
this is a bad
they're trying to
movie.
do a Wonder Woman.
Uh-huh.
Remember Wonder Woman like blew up because of the whole
Yeah.
Wonder Woman and female director and like the first one wasn't
It was good
bad.
enough. It was good enough to justify those like
Yes,
things.
it was good
It was
enough.
like one of the it was one of the big movies of that time. I
Right.
forget when it came out exactly.
I still didn't watch 84 because I heard it was bad.
I didn't watch it
hadn't
either.
seen it.
I love Pedro Pascal, the
Me too.
main villain, but
Mando. Yep.
Yeah, I just couldn't watch it.
Have you seen all of the Marvel Disney Plus shows?
Yes, I have actually.
Are you caught up on Loki?
Yes, I just watched episode 5 yesterday.
Yep, me too.
And it was good.
It was good.
You
It's a bridge episode. You know,
Uh-huh.
I'll try and be spoiler free, but like it's a bridge episode. Like the next one's gonna be fucking bonkers.
Crazy, right? And so, how many have they released so far? Is that 3? WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki.
Yeah.
2 for 3. WandaVision's good. Loki's pretty good. Falcon.
Could not agree more.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Like WandaVision had the whole aesthetic, and they brought in Photon, and like you know, it was a good post Endgame show.
Mhm.
You
Like the
know?
first episode of WandaVision is actually like great. Like
Yeah.
it's actually like crazy good.
Yeah.
Like given everything that
because as a viewer, you don't know shit.
Uh-huh.
You're like, what is this?
Mhm.
Because like there's no hints. It is all their scripted world in
Yeah.
black and white,
Yes.
same camera angle. You're like, I am so confused. There's this weird Iron Man toaster thing.
it's cute and
Yeah.
it takes everything that they have as having this really like strong universe of characters, and it does it very, very well.
Yeah.
Whereas Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the best character in Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a super Nazi named Baron Zemo.
Dude, if he wasn't in that show, it would have sucked.
Yeah, and what I said, the action is just so not engaging. And then the whole premise with the Flag Smashers
with Harley and like all that
is
shit
the stupidest shit.
Because they kept like it was a continuation. Obviously, it wasn't like a one arc episode show, but it almost felt like it was, because like at first they were talking about vaccines, and then it was drugs, and then it was explosives, and like this, it kept like, it felt like it was progressing, but like not at all. It just kept changing. And then he would somehow get back to Louisiana really quick, and his family would be selling the boat and like all this random shit. And I'm like, what is going on?
The whole premise. I mean, like, I know it was a big premise that, like, you know, even though he's like a superhero, extremely famous, he's still like him and his family still can't provide for themselves. And it's like, that's unrealistic.
Right.
Like, imagine if we had superheroes today, like, they'd be out the bag. Like, like the way superheroes are represented in like The Boys and Invincible are a lot more realistic.
Yeah.
Like celebrities, they'd be celebrities.
Right.
People, they'd be on Twitch. People would be donating to them. They'd have 50,000 viewers.
Hell yeah.
they'd have emotes, you know, shit like that. Like, it kind of breaks your suspension of disbelief. But I'm excited to see how Loki goes.
Me too.
Because oh god, what's the actor's name? Tom Hiddleston? No.
Yeah, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's
Love
fantastic. And just this show.
And Lady Loki's cool too. I thought I was gonna like her.
Sophie's awesome.
She's great.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love that premise because it makes a lot of sense. Like,
and Mobius, dude. Love him.
Mobius is great. Oliver, I forget his actor's name, but he was in Zoolander and shit.
Wow.
Exactly. That guy.
Lightning McQueen. Freak. Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. Yes, he's Owen Wilson. And Owen Wilson is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen him in anything since Zoolander, and seeing him in like just a Marvel show is great. I love that Marvel has the resources and like the I don't give a fuck attitude to just get any actor to do anything. It's a nice quality they have.
I don't know. That is great, but I'm kind of scared for Marvel's future, because me and my dad were talking about this. They're stepping into some weird shit. If you haven't,
like,
you can't
in
tell.
terms of like
of content and like comic background,
yeah,
like
going into like
Eternals and all that shit. That's gonna be so weird, and like all this multiverse shit is gonna be cool. But if you like Doctor Strange and the third Ant-Man, those are all gonna be weird shit.
Yeah,
like heavily weird.
Yeah,
and I don't know if people are ready for it.
They're moving away from their mainstream,
right. You know, they're ditching the classic Captain America, Iron Man.
They're
shit.
going like deep into science fantasy stuff.
Yeah, and like, they better do a good job, because your average fan who isn't like super into it could fall off.
Yeah, I mean, and
Endgame was a huge thing.
Yeah,
and now you don't have a ton of. I mean, you do have a ton of material, but it's all like unknown, weird material.
Yeah, it's not like the mainstream stuff. But I do think that they are up for it, because I mean, when the first Iron Man came out, people weren't used to even just that, even
That's
just
a person
flying around. And so I think they're slowly changing the minds of America and the world in general. So I mean, maybe we'll just go into this weird shit revolution, and
maybe
like they'll be okay with it, and that'll be weird to look at, to like say to not just think that like everybody knows who the Avengers are, everybody knows who Thanos and the Infinity Stones are, but everyone knows who like the weird shit in Marvel is. That's gonna be interesting for sure.
Yeah, I saw this tweet, and it was like someone interviewed Tobey, or not interviewed, but stopped Tobey Maguire on the street, and was like, "Are you gonna be in the next Spider-Man? Is that true?" And he just like smiled. And he smiled and winked, and I was like, oh. Like I got, oh my god, it's Tobey Maguire. Like,
Tobey Maguire is a gem, dude. A gem. He's so awesome. I mean, I think we've talked about it before, but obviously he's the best Spider-Man.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna swing in. It's gonna
swear to God.
Take his shit up. Like, oh my god!
I swear to God. If it's like Into the Spider-Verse but live action with all those three Spider-Mans, I'm gonna cry.
Oh my god! Like, oh my god!
And like, I want to see like a live action Miles Morales too.
Yeah, he'll probably make a cameo
for sure.
I'd imagine, because in the first Tom Holland one, Donald Glover played the purple dude from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yes, his uncle.
His uncle, right.
Yeah.
Miles' uncle, who's a bad guy.
So it's probably a little different, because he was like young and stuff like that. So,
right.
So we probably have a different relationship, but I could definitely see him coming in.
Yeah. Damn, that shit's going to be good. Yeah. See, like, that's not as weird shit, because, like, you know, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I mean, it's always the test thing where, like, everybody loves Spider-Man. Right. Like, Spider-Man's the most superheroes. And it's like, but it's these things like Black Widow is sort of a shot in the dark. So you have to have a good movie. It can't just be like, because even if Spider-Man was bad, people would still go watch it, and they'd stay like, oh yeah, Spider-Man.
And personally, the Far From Home one, the European one, wasn't great.
Yeah, it wasn't as good. Wasn't as good as Homecoming.
Wasn't as good as Homecoming.
But
I think it, like, the whole multiverse and Mysterio shit got like retconned halfway through. Like,
Yeah, it was like a twist.
It was a twist that kind of flopped.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed bringing Mysterio in and like showing his power because like that's his thing. It's just like you shouldn't have faked. There's plenty of stuff to fake. Don't fake a multiverse because that is going to be real. Yeah. It is real.
It's interesting because I mean, from the start of the movie, I think most people knew that Mysterio's powers are that he's an illusionist. He doesn't do shit. So I was winning with it, like thinking of where the twist came. But I think just even if it wasn't as good as Homecoming or in general, I think just like the sweetheartness of Spider-Man just got to everybody and says like that is an okay thing. But with new IPs or like new characters that you're putting full movies on, you have to be
right.
Like, you have to ask to be a good movie. It can't just be off name recognition alone. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they'll ever make a solo Hulk movie.
Well, they did
again. with Ruffalo.
I don't know.
Because honestly, I like the Edward Norton one.
Me too.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I enjoyed it. Disney kind of like shoves it under the table,
right? They just scoot it away,
right? Because like it's not Tom or it's not Ruffalo, and it's like it's Marvel, but it's like
the only characters from that movie that have ever been in another Marvel movie are
the Sergeant dude,
and Tony Stark was in the very end,
right?
And that's it.
That's it. Because his girlfriend or whatever her name was,
Liv Tyler. Well, like that's the actress Liv Tyler,
right?
Nowhere near.
Nope.
Like that hasn't been a part of like the Hulk story in any of these movies.
Well, he kind of got a little Hulk story in Ragnarok, Thor 3.
That was cool. That was
pretty cool.
But it's the thing where it's like Black Widow was in everyone else's movie but her own, and now she's gonna have her own. So I wonder if that's gonna happen, which I'd be interested to see because I think Hulk's one of those people that just off Raymond. Although his name has been kind of dragged through the mud because he's never had like a really great movie by himself. Like the old ones were really bad,
right?
And so I can see how that would sour everybody. But I think his name recognition is a lot better than
I think so
a
too.
lot of their side superheroes.
Yeah. I think doesn't Black Widow take place in between Civil War and Infinity War?
I don't know. But
I have no clue.
I think so because it's like I see videos about people saying like things you should remember before you watch Black Widow, and it's
like it might end with her getting blonde hair. Maybe.
It has Hopper from Stranger Things, which I'm actually interested.
Yeah,
I like that actor.
I like that guy.
He's doing a Russian accent. It's cute.
Yeah, he's got that whole like Russian Captain America thing. I think he even has a shield that he throws.
Yeah, I forget what he's called, like the red something.
Red something, yeah.
But then also actually Taskmaster is the villain, which is cool. I like Taskmaster.
He's pretty cool.
He's a cool villain.
Yeah, and they made him look good.
Yeah, they did. So you know what? I'll definitely reserve my judgment. I'll go watch it and see what it's like. But geez, it's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Jack, how do you like being like one-on-one? Like
I enjoy it.
All to yourself on the couch. It's a new dynamic. I noticed it with TJ and with Parsa, and it's
I like it.
It's interesting for sure. But thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. How's it going?
Yeah. Thank you all for listening to this episode of the 426 podcast. We hope you have a great weekend. But until then, this is 426 out.
Later.